This video, we're taking a look at Colorado and their offense from the Week 1 win against North Dakota State. The very first thing we're going to look at are just some of the explosive plays and exceptional plays from Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. Those guys are obviously some of the best players in college football, and they definitely showed it in this game. And right here to start off, I mean, it's the scoring here for Colorado, all they've got is just a hitch. They flip it out there to Travis Hunter. He's one-on-one corner, makes him miss, and just outruns the angle from the safety. So, I mean, nothing fancy. They just saw the corner playing off. Let's go ahead and throw hitches. Everybody's running a hitch. Shedeur obviously has got the whip to get it out there to him with some space. Rips it to him. Great awareness right there, feeling that guy's on his outside shoulder. And now it's just athleticism and speed. Safety takes a poor angle, not quite ready for the speed and athleticism that he's seeing right there from Travis Hunter. Outruns everybody, gets into the end zone. Really impressive play. Just athletic play there by Travis Hunter. Next play we've got on here is just a pretty simple Y cross. So you got a bubble here, you got a vertical. Travis Hunter right here, he's running a dig. You got outside receiver who's running a post over the top. If this safety drives that, you're going to go to the post. And what was really impressive right here is Shedeur. This pocket's getting collapsed. And obviously with everything that went on last year, all the hits that he took a lot of big hits in this game. And we'll look at those as well. But right here, pocket's getting collapsed. You got a defensive lineman in your face, and you're throwing a post. Let's see how far this ball goes. It goes from the 25 all the way to the opposite 38. I mean, without a whole lot on it, he can't rotate through that. He's getting his arm hit as he's throwing it. Really impressive composure right there for a Week 1 with all those bodies around him getting condensed. And then great strong throw on that post. Now, of course, wide receiver does get wide open. He must have a double move on this safety because you can see the safety. Right here on this, you can see the middle of the field goes closed. You got a safety rolling over that direction. And whenever you see it, this was the safety that had driven down and that middle field closed. And that post got over the top of him, playing with speed, creating an explosive play right there. Gets all the way to the end zone. Second touchdown there for Shedeur. And great job being patient in the pocket and just the poise and arm strength to fit it in there and keep him running. Allows him to get all the way to the end zone right there on that one. Here's a look here, just the arm strength. I mean, Shedeur right here rips this thing all the way from the far hash, 15-yard line. Rips that thing all the way out there to the 30, to the sideline. So this is a heck of a throw. Really strong throw there. I mean, this is the last drive before half. They had to go down there and get a field goal, which was a big field goal, obviously. They won by 5 and got them within 3 at half. But just this arm strength, really impressive. I mean, rips that thing. That's what the NFL scouts are seeing, just being able to throw a ball to the flats from the far hash all the way outside the numbers. Really impressive arm strength. Another pop play right here. Ball's on the left hash. They're running just a shallow right here. Shallow dig. You got a vertical on the outside, and that's Travis Hunter going one-on-one. He sees everybody's condensed. And just watching Shedeur right here, obviously, footwork, if you're some footwork guru, say, hey, this is a little bit wonky right here, but when he's ready to throw, he's able to rotate those hips through and rip this thing. I mean, from the far hash. That's what all these scouts are seeing, going from far hash outside the numbers and just giving you guy a chance to make a play. Obviously, Travis Hunter, probably one of the better ones in the country, one-on-one. Just give your guy a chance. That's what he does right there. Some of us out here might say this is a little bit of a push-off. I mean, let's see it right there. I mean, but, yeah, could possibly get called. Definitely a push-off, but creating your own shot right there. Make them call it sometimes. They didn't call it here. Turns into an explosive play. There's another really impressive throw and catch. And on this one, you know you got a one-on-one inside releases and then he goes to the corner. And this is a great job understanding where the defense is. So the defense has their back turned. And they throw basically a back shoulder corner, which is really hard to stop. And right there you see DB just goes flailing, falls down. Great adjustment there as well. Open your hips. Get 2 hands to it. Great throw and catch right there. Gets man coverage. DB thinks he's going to be able to lean on that guy and push him hopefully to the back of the end zone. But then he just stops and he just flies by. Exceptional throw and catch against a one-on-one corner. There's another throw here, this time in the fourth quarter. Just off your back foot. Able to throw it again from the far hash. Outside the numbers. Heck of a throw. I mean, it's just one of those things. They gave him so many opportunities. He's able to back into some throws and he's just ripping it out there outside the numbers. Big completion. Those field side flats, just like this, are typically there. It's just hard to make that throw. And those guys are saying they're going to undercut it. Like these outside linebacker or safety, they probably say, hey, we're going to undercut that against 98% of the QBs in college football. But right there, not against Shedeur, he's able to take advantage of it. Those wide side flat routes were pretty big for him in this game. I'd say this is probably the most insane play of the game, and they get really lucky if this play gets off. I mean, they were taking forever. They took 2 timeouts already in this drive to save them from having delay games. But this was a crucial drive. It put them up 2 scores. Ended up being the difference in the game. But they get this ball snapped right at the last second as the play clock's running out. This guy's backing out. And they just run a fade. I mean, these guys just barely get set quick enough, and Sheduer just gives this guy a chance. I mean, this is an unreal catch. It's really hard to see it from this angle, and this angle shows it. Look at all that contact. And he just fights through it. He's able to come down with it. Unbelievable catch. Obviously, you'd think this was probably going to get called based on how they were calling most of the game. But just to fight through that contact, I mean, look at that. That guy's got his arm right underneath his chin. He just throws one arm up at it, just gets enough of it to bring it to his other hand. Heck of a throw and catch right there for Colorado. So we looked at basically Shedeur, some really good plays, and Travis Hunter. Now we're going to just look at some of the scheme that Colorado's running. And right here, they're running their snacks. So you got a corner, you got to sit, you got your back getting out of the backfield. Typically you run some sort of a slant to the backside. That's what they have here. That Mike pushes with that back getting out. So we're going to get to the backside. Pretty easy read here. Tons of space to the middle of the field. There's your slant. Let's give it to him right now. Easy completion on a 2nd and 1. He keeps him running. So now you got a chance to make some guys miss, turn into a bigger play, and just play the momentum. Runs through an arm tackle. Again, this is early in the game. So tackling's very questionable there. Week 1, early in the game. Get the ball in space, and that's what they do right here. Easy slant on that snag read. Look here at another concept. You're getting a vertical. You're getting your back out of the backfield. So you're really hoping to take that Mike there when that back pushes. You got to drag, you got to drive underneath, so it's going to be 1, 2, depending on who takes this, 3 to that drag coming across, and right here, again, catches it. Quarterback's eyes looks like they go right at that Mike linebacker down the middle of the field. Mike stays pretty true, and so now we're high-lowing that guy. Now let's go ahead and throw it into that window. You see that big window between this Mike and this corner. Hopefully you get that safety to play off and not chase too hard. And able to get 5 into that next window, just drills it. Not just a huge window, but again, the arm strength and the trust and knowledge of where you're going with the football. Able to create a big play right there. Safety's not able to make a play on them. Explosive play again right there. Basically on a drive concept. Get to that 2nd level. This is a very similar look to that Y cross that we saw earlier. That was a big play for the 2nd touchdown, but you're getting a bubble, you're getting a go. And this time instead of running the dig, he's going across and then he goes vertical right down the middle. The safety looks like they played split field coverage, so there's a too high look, and this outside safety is going to the outside receiver, whatever he runs, whether it's a curl, post, dig, whatever. Looks like he hangs and widens with that. So really big play down the middle of the field, gets the guy wide open. There's the safety that was playing over the top of the outside receiver. The only guy that could stop that, if that safety's playing that wide, is this Mike, and he's not pushing nearly hard enough. Trying to get over the top of that. Pretty good route here as well. You got to stem right at him, and then you go vertical, playing with speed. So it gets over the top of that Mike. Good throw and catch, wide open in the middle of the field. Turns into an explosive play for Colorado. Now that we talked about a lot of the good stuff, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that kind of gave you some concerns. And the very first one is the rushing offense. 2.6 a carry, 23 attempts. Really abandoned it late in the game, and we'll look at that as well. But just averaging 2.6 yards a carry, that's not how you protect Sheduer. I mean, you got to have a lot better yards per carry than that. You got to trust that a lot more late in the game and on short yard situations where Sheduer doesn't have to be the guy making the play every single time. But we're going to take a look at some of the runs and just some of the issues that they have. So you can get some of the runs here, and this one, unbelievable box on a 3rd and 4. You get a 4-1 box. You got all these guys outside. You got a too high look, and they just run a zone base. So base there, going to double the A gap up, base, downhill, probably reading that guy for some sort of an RPO. So right there, easy read. And right here, it's early in the season, I get it. Maybe you don't have as much stuff in, but that light of a box, they're saying you're either not going to run the football, or they're saying these guys are going to whip your 5, and we're going to stop you before you get 4 yards. So right there, extremely light box, able to run through it. Safety fills in extremely quickly there as well. So pretty aggressive to fill the box, fit it in. But great job here as well, falling forward, making sure the first down on a 3rd and 4. You got to have a little bit more of this. Of course, defense gave you that one, but we got to have a little bit more of this so that Travis Hunter and Sheduer Center don't have to be Superman every single 3rd and 4. They can put it on somebody else's shoulders every now and then. Here's a look here, 4th and 1. Really like the call. I mean, aggressive call. I'm not going to question anything as far as where they're at on the field. If they want to go for it and they feel like they've got it, I would say, hey, man, go for it. Don't hesitate. Go try to make a play. And right here, pretty interesting look. You got a tight end wide receiver here in tight. This is like 4th and half a yard. This isn't even like a whole yard. And they're just trying to run a zone base here. Again, forefront, they got extra guy walk down because you have this tight end here. So a 6-man box, extra guy filling in. So a 7-man box, this guy should be non-factor here. So you are minus in the box. But what's really concerning here, you do get a little bit of a twist, but it's just an absolute jumble with no movement there on the interior line. And with no movement, these guys are able to fill over the top with those linebackers and everything. And to me, I don't think this is so much a scheme issue as it is just these guys getting whipped up front and an unblocked linebacker fitting in. I mean, running back's hitting it pretty hard. I mean, it's Dallin Hayden. He's a stud from Ohio State, but nowhere to go. I mean, absolutely whipped up front. Those guards and centers stalemated right there, and then everybody else is flying in late, playing aggressively there for North Dakota State. Here's another look of one of the very rare runs right here that were effective. Again, we're in a twin set, probably 2 receivers here, both of them probably on the ball because you're getting a tail motion here, trying to get some eyes, and you're just running an inside zone right there. And pretty good alley. This is a safety rolling down again. The numbers are right here in the box. They don't get any movement. Again, this is on a 3rd and 2. And where are all the offensive linemen? Are they pass setting? I mean, it's one of those things where nobody has their heels out of the backfield. Everybody's heels are at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. If you're not getting any movement right there on a 3rd and 2, then it's going to be tough. But right there, able to find a crease. You got a safety filling into the alley. But running back is able to make him miss, fall forward, through an arm tackle. Great effort here by the back to get there, but just you stop it right there. This is a 3rd and 2. It's a run call, and everybody's feet are still in the backfield. They do cover everybody up. I get it. They get a body on everybody, but you got to get a lot more vertical movement or even horizontal movement. There's like no movement at all. That's going to be tough if you continue the year without any movement up front as far as running the football, and you're going to force this guy to be Superman every single game to beat anybody. Speaking of forcing this guy to be Superman, that dude took some absolute shots. Like, absolutely got blown up about half a dozen times. And I know that their emphasis was to protect the dude this offseason. Well, first game, obviously got a win, but really struggled. And, I mean, I don't think they protected him very well. I mean, they kept putting him in precarious situations. Obviously, the way that he plays, every now and then he will take a shot. But, I mean, this is the only sack of the night that was actually recorded. But we'll see some hits that were absolutely violent. And, I mean, it's not going to feel good to anybody. He's going to be sore today, and that's still a long season to go. I mean, right here, only sack and probably one of the least violent hits this dude took all night. They're able to get him on the ground. I mean, this is on 3rd and 4, 4-man rush, a little bit of a twist, and he holds on to it because everybody's covered up, trying to make something happen. They get him on the ground for the only sack of the night. Here's one, of course, making something happen. This is late in the half on a 2nd and 10. Ends up leading to a field goal right here, but right here he has to scramble out. Left tackle gets beat pretty soundly, so he has to flip his hips, get out. This is a really good football play. I mean, this is a heck of a football play. Turning his shoulders, getting around, and then outrunning a D tackle. But here's where he gets absolutely blasted. Right there, a D lineman puts his helmet right in his ribs. This knocks the air out of him. Doesn't feel good, but hey, he finds a guy, and they're streaking down the field. I mean, it's one of those things. He's going to make these plays, and sometimes he's going to take these shots. But, I mean, it's just one of those things. You want to try to limit those shots if you can. But that was a big one. Another look here, same drive. I think this might even be the next play. Interior lineman just runs right through the center, right in the quarterback's face, which this is extremely uncomfortable. Again, this is one of those plays that's unreal. A guy right in your face, you don't even follow through at all. But what this is a dangerous play as far as Shedeur's health. I mean, arms getting hit, hands getting hit. That's in a bad position to have somebody there playing with some force. But this is a heck of a football. I mean, a dude right in your face and you're able to throw it like this. But you got to shore up that interior part of the line. I mean, this twist right here is something that you should be working day one. I mean, if he goes there, you've got to plant. You got to stay flat. I mean, look at how late he is to react to this twist. and then he's caught off guard that guy was twisting to him. You got to get your eyes up. You got to play with a little bit more awareness and strength there at that center spot than he does here. He gets his dude absolutely smoked right in his face, and that's a bad spot. Whenever you're getting pressure right up the middle, that's uncomfortable, and it's a really bad position to be in as a football player. Another crucial situation here, 3rd and 10, and one thing you can't say that Shedeur's going to do is that he's not going to put his face in the fan. That dude will stand in there and get absolutely smoked. It's on 3rd and 10. You're running a whip, you're running a dig, tons of space in the middle of the field, and hey, I'm going to stick my face in the fan and get absolutely blasted. I mean, maybe this is a little bit late as well, but, I mean, he's taking a shot right here. He's not afraid to stand in there and make these throws, but still, hey, we got to protect a lot better. This isn't just an extremely crazy, complicated rush. I mean, it's one of those things, hey, we got basically a 6-man box. We're getting 2 off the edge here. I know they are bringing kind of a funky look, but whenever they're lined up like this, you've got to slide the protection here to this because you know there's going to be some sort of twist, something weird going on over here. They don't get to slide to it like you probably should. But right there, gets the linebacker free, hits him right in the face, but still, great throw and catch there by 2 of the better players in college football. Last play here, this is a scramble on a 2nd and 4. Again, this is that drive where they had to have a touchdown. If you get a touchdown, it basically puts the game away based on how the game was going, really. But right here, scrambles around and gets vertical. And just look at what goes on right here. I mean, you got a D lineman, you got a linebacker twisting, pulling, trying to fall on. So they fall on him. Okay, great. Now this linebacker absolutely drops a knee to him. And then 91 comes in, puts another knee right in his back. I mean, I get it's football, but still, I mean, that's a little bit much. I mean, 91 going in there and putting a knee right in the middle of his back might be a little bit much. I mean, I thought this was one of those things where you can't let people just come in that late and put contact like that on somebody. I mean, this is one of those things. He's laying on the ground. His feet have kicked up and hit the ground, and he comes in and puts a knee in the middle of his back. I mean, I get people playing aggressively, trying to be tough and all that. As an official, we got to protect people as well. That's one of those things. Like, I get those other hits. I mean, one of them, they talked about possible targeting and stuff. People are playing hard there. I get that. But on this, guys, you can't let somebody just come here and put a knee in somebody's back into their kidney. And I like that this guy's like, hey, this bullcrap, man. Get the hell off my quarterback. I get that. This dude should have thrown a flag, something. They let a few things go last night that I thought were a little bit odd on both sides. But, again, it's just another one of those plays. Hey, putting your face to the fan, you can't do this all year, though. I mean, it's North Dakota State. You're going to play teams that are a lot bigger, a lot faster than North Dakota State, even though they are a great, FCS team. I get it. But there's a reason they're playing FCS and not FBS. It's because they're not as big, they're not as fast. It's just the fact of it. So you're going to get hit by a lot bigger, faster guys. And we can't be taking these shots all year. We've got to protect them better as far as our protection. And we got to be able to run the football a little bit more. Last thing I want to talk about is just this last drive for Colorado's offense. Obviously, they can't run the ball at all. I mean, at all. So, they throw the ball out there a couple times in a row. They're throwing a swing here to Travis Hunter, get the ball on the edge, see what happens. I understand that. That's easy. This right here, I'd say, is an extension of the run game. Okay, we're throwing basically a swing to one of the best players, see what happens. Maybe we can get a one-on-one and break a tackle. Right there, I'm good with it. It gets tackled for no gain. Took some time off the clock, all that. Make them use a timeout. So very next play, we're in trips closed. The box is good. The box is good. We're throwing a bubble. I get it. He's getting in here late. But you got a 4-1. You got a corner here. We're in a trips closed set. The box is good. Let's hand the ball here. We're throwing a bubble out here. I get it. He's one of the better players in the country still. But the box is good. That guy's filling in so late from the outside. But Shedeur sees it, flips it out there. Okay. I understand the scheme of it. Gets 3. You would have got 3 if you would have handed the ball off here as well. Maybe you break this guy's tackle. He's playing out of control. But they get 3, throw a bubble. They hadn't ran the ball yet, but they have gotten completions on just extensions of the run game. Last one here, obviously, if you get a first down, this game's over. So I appreciate the aggressive nature here on the call. Whatever they call is not there, though. They're in trips left. They're getting the back out, doing all this stuff. Sheduer, again, we have no running game. So he's got to be Superman every single play to make something happen. So here he's bouncing around, he's running, he's spinning, he just rips this thing down the field as far as he can. He underthrows a guy that gets over the top. It's one of those things. He gets over the top of this on a scramble drill. Here's the safety or linebacker, whoever's with them, trying to run it down, and they get bailed out because it's an underthrown ball, and this guy has no awareness and just runs through the guy. I mean, tough call. They don't call the same thing on like the very next play. That was very similar, but underthrown ball, guy just runs through him. This is the right call, but it's one of those things too. If this dude like makes this play and doesn't just freak out and run through the receiver, I mean, they're about to get the ball back with 140, 130 left on the clock. I mean, that's a heck of a stop there for North Dakota State, and they have a really good chance to score. Right here, they just get bailed out with a call of a guy just running through somebody as opposed to actually playing the football. So very next play right here is 141 left in the game. You're in a twin set, and they just decide, hey, we're going to throw a fade. I mean, and it's one of those things, this is not an RPO. This is straight slide. So you're getting a 7-man pro, slide protection. They're trying to throw a fade outside, and this ball's underthrown. I mean, they're toasted right here. This should be a touchdown, and I was hoping that it would have been a touchdown. I had, some money on it. If they score and they go up and they win by over 9.5, I'm getting some money. And they underthrow this ball. They underthrow it, and it gets knocked down. His same guy that just got the penalty, so I think they're just trying to go after him. But still, hey, 137, and we're throwing the ball. North Dakota State has one timeout. You're not making them use that timeout on that one. It gave them a chance. This fade and them not connecting gave North Dakota State a chance to win the football game. So next play, inside zone, non-existent. Clock just keeps ticking right here. They take a timeout. So now you're at 128 on a 3rd and 10. Ran the ball once so far this drive. Now they just run basically a cut. Again, another extension of the run game here. Getting him to the flats, trying to block most dangerous. Had some success on this play, so they flip it out there. If this thing gets knocked down, though, I mean, this isn't just like a wide open throw. You got a DN free in your face. If that gets knocked down and they get the ball with 126 as opposed to 50 seconds or less, they've got a pretty good chance to score. I mean, they moved the ball down there and had a chance to throw it into the end zone. But, I mean, that was dangerous right there. They did get on the edge. Got, 7-8 yards, kind of close to the first down. But, man, very close right here to being knocked down. A lot more time for North Dakota State. So, kind of wrapping this thing up, man. Big win for Colorado. A lot of people thought they were going to struggle and not win this game. But Colorado came through. I mean, it didn't look great at times. Obviously, 31-26, 5-point game. And North Dakota State was trying to throw it into the end zone as time expired. A couple things here as far as the stat line. Unbelievable right here, 445, 26-34, one INT. He was bounced off the guy's foot. It was really weird. Not sure where he was going with football to begin with, but then some weird stuff happened. I mean, I feel like he's probably just throwing it away. But 13.1 average is unbelievable. But then you come down here to the running game, 59 yards, 2.6 average. You got to have better than that to be able to keep Sheduer upright and not make him do everything. But again, 445. Jimmy Horn had 198, almost 200 yards receiving. Travis Hunter had 132. And while he's playing defense, that dude's an absolute freak. 3 touchdowns there for Travis Hunter. But then you come down here, the one thing that stood out, I mean, even though we did get hit a ton, you just had 1 sack, which is huge. So 1 sack right there. After all offseason saying they had to protect Shedeur. Well, protect him as far as only giving up 1 sack, but didn't protect him with any semblance of a run game whatsoever. So is Colorado better? Yeah, they're better. I mean, they're a little bit more athletic, especially up front. But got to find something better in the run game if they're hoping to beat some of these big boys they're going to see in Big 12 play. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and be sure to subscribe so you can catch everything we have in this college football season. But we'll see you guys again in the next video.